This is Max. He was hit by a car, but he wasn't saved by the nearest hospital. He was turned away. In the final, most critical hours of his life, a top-rated veterinary clinic refused to perform a simple procedure because his owner couldn't afford a $10,000 upfront fee. This isn't healthcare. This is cruelty, and today we're going to talk about it. It started like any other day. Max, a beautiful pit bull mix rescued just a year prior, was out for a walk. A moment of distraction, a car speeding around the corner, and the unimaginable happened. His owner scooped up his broken, bleeding body and raced to the closest, most advanced emergency animal hospital in the city. They ran in, desperate, begging for help. Max was whimpering, his breathing shallow. He had internal bleeding and multiple fractures. The situation was dire, but stabilization was possible. But then came the conversation that no pet owner should ever have to endure. Before they even took Max to the back, before a vet laid a hand on him to assess the full damage, the receptionist slid a piece of paper across the counter. It was an estimate. $10,000. Up front. Every penny. The owner pleaded, offered a credit card for a partial payment, anything to just get Max stable. They promised to find the rest, to call family, to start a fundraiser, anything. But the answer was a cold, firm no. Clinic policy. No payment, no treatment. They were told to leave. They were literally shown the door while holding their dying dog. Can you imagine the sheer panic? The rage? The feeling of utter helplessness? They bundled Max back into the car, his life fading with every passing second, and frantically searched for another option. They called every vet in a 50-mile radius. Most were closed or couldn't handle this level of trauma. Finally, a small charity-run clinic on the other side of town said to bring him in, that they would do what they could. The drive was the longest of their lives. Every red light, every bit of traffic felt like a personal attack. They held Max, talking to him, begging him to hold on, promising him he was a good boy and that help was coming. They finally arrived at the charity vet, a place run by people with massive hearts but limited resources. The vet and her team rushed Max to the back immediately, no questions asked about money. They started fluids, pain medication, and began their assessment. But after what felt like an eternity, the vet came out, her face etched with sorrow. She explained that too much time had passed. The internal bleeding was too severe. Had he been stabilized when he first arrived at the emergency hospital, his chances would have been excellent. But the delay was fatal. There was nothing more they could do except end his suffering. So in a small, quiet room, surrounded by strangers who showed more compassion than the high-tech, expensive hospital, Max's owner held him one last time and said goodbye. Max didn't die from his injuries. He died from greed. He died because a business policy was deemed more important than his life. This isn't an isolated incident. It happens every single day. So I have to ask, should vet clinics be legally required to provide emergency stabilization for an animal, regardless of the owner's immediate ability to pay? Answer yes or no in the comments. And if you have ever faced this kind of financial cruelty at a vet, if you've been turned away while your pet was suffering, I want to hear your story. Name the clinics. Let's hold them accountable. Share your vet horror stories below, because Max's story needs to be the last one. Thanks for watching.